All right, good afternoon. How's everyone doing?
What did you see from Drew making his first start on Sunday?
Yeah, I love seeing Drew get out there and compete. Right from that opening drive right there, guys rallying around him. And going through the ins and outs of the week leading up to it. With the kind of a late in the week adjustment that we had to make for an unfortunate set of circumstances. But saw the guys rally around him and saw him go out there and compete and have fun doing it.
I know you talked about this before, the run pass numbers. We're not talking balance, not 50-50, but what
Right.
goes into making the decision on just the number of runs per game?
In terms of that, like the number of runs per game is always going to be predicated upon how the drives go, how everything's going, and so we know in a perfect scenario, especially if you're in a lead in the game where you get a chance to get more runs going in the fourth quarter, there's also chances throughout the course of the game in those first, second down scenarios, and then mixing and matching them in the in some of the situational football right there. And so for us, again, it'll always be about being efficient on first and second down, and the more times we can do that, and the more that we can execute on third down, the more balanced our final numbers in the run game each week will be. And I think this past week was indicative of some struggles on third down, where you get behind the chains, and then late in the game when you're down a couple scores, throwing those numbers off. So we're always going to be striving for that balance and really coming back to that execution on first and second down and playing consistent football for 4 quarters.
Did anything really have to change at all, game plan wise or anything, when you had to switch to Drew at that point in the week?
I think going through like we would do with Gino as well, where you go through the final call sheet on some of the things that are his favorite plays and really leaning on those. But really in terms of the system and the scheme that we went with, that's what we love about Drew and Gino together is you got two guys that can really operate in a similar fashion. And so week in, week out, their ownership of the game plan, whether it was Drew was going to be the starter or it was going to be the backup, his approach each week, just like when Gino was in that backup role, has remained hey, I might be the starter this week, and I'm not just doing it to do it. I really believe this, and I got to prepare like this. And I think that's going to pay dividends, and did pay dividends for Drew in the first start. And I think we need to keep improving overall as an offense around him and around the quarterbacks as we keep moving forward here.
What are some of the things that if and when he does get a chance to play again, that you want to see him correct and get better at?
I think that the number one thing is always going to be for every one of our guys on offense is taking care of the football. Giving us a chance to be in the plus on that turnover margin at the end of the game. We know that's going to be one of the major factors in winning and losing football games. So starting with the quarterback position, who has the most chances in the game for the potential for the ball to be in peril. Doing a good job with some of those things, and there's always going to be things that come back and say, hey, what was the result, or why did a turnover occur? Sometimes it's one specific reason, sometimes it's a multitude of things. But for Drew's confidence level and everything, where he's able to make every single throw, just understanding the accuracy, the downfield decisions, some of those things that come into play, doing a great job with it, which he continued to do. He did a great job with his decisions, and then there's a couple times where the ball one's a tip and one's a left inside type of throw, where if we can eliminate those type of things, we know at the end of the game we're going to have a better chance to win those contests.
What did you see from him on the plays where he got out of the pocket and made throws in the run?
Yeah, I think one of Drew's strong traits is being able to work off schedule. I think the one they blitzed us on a third down, and he's able to break contain on the right side and find a completion to Tyler right there. So I think it's always going to be one of Drew's strong suits, be able to use his athletic ability and get out and extend plays.
First interception, were you good on the decision or just a bad throw?
Yeah, he just left it inside, and I think I love about Drew. He knows it coming right off. He left it inside on a throw that's an outside the numbers to the sideline throw right there. Being aggressive with that mindset to DK, who had a little edge right there, and it's one of those things he learns from and takes the accountability and comes right off and learns from it for the next time that play might come up down the road.
His patience when he's out there. Can you talk about that? Is that something that he's not? I mean, how special is that for him? He comes out of the pocket. He's looking downfield.
I got you. Oh, you said the patience when he's
Yeah.
breaking contain. Yeah. No, I agree. He does. He has a good feel for once he gets out on the edge right there, where it's not a panic scenario right there. He's really got good big field vision. I know probably say it goes back to his basketball days right there, but he can really operate off schedule. He really has understanding of when he comes off the field. We talk about a series. It might be a scramble play. He can articulate, hey, where were the other 21 guys on the field? He has a great sense of where everything's happening and what's going on around him. So having his patience, having a good decisions there, and really finding some of those off-schedule plays, especially in the third down or in the red zone. To me, as an offense as a whole, that's something that we can help progress and keep progressing upon to steal a few of those conversions each game.
What are you emphasizing most, or what's the one area to improve to turn this around offensively?
Yeah, I think the one area by far and away has been consistency. It's something we've talked about, where we've had these great moments. You come off of a game where, we're over 50% on third down, and then you roll into the next game and we're back to, struggling on third down right there. So it's really, and it's not just the third down. I know that's been a major area we've talked about, but it's that consistency throughout 4 quarters every single week where we've had games where we've, done a really good job starting fast, come out with a touchdown drive. We've had games where whether it's Cleveland or, some of those games, Washington down at the end in the fourth quarter where we've really finished strongly. And so for us on offense, it's how do we find that consistency through 4 quarters in everything that we're doing.
And you haven't felt that in one game yet?
Haven't felt that in one game yet. I feel like we've been a little bit of up and down and sometimes, but that's going to be part of it. We know, the plays that the defense makes, the plays that the other team makes. We know in the NFL everybody's good. Everyone's got playmakers. So, we're not expecting, we are expecting everything to be perfect, but we know that's, pretty unlikely through the course of a game. We know the other players are going to make plays throughout the course of the game, but our ability to stay consistent mentally where we're not riding emotional highs or lows to execute at a high level through 4 quarters, knowing that there's going to be good things coming, there's going to be some bad things that might occur, and then keep bouncing back, keep playing the next play or keep playing the next drive. I think that's a good challenge for us and something that we know, there's still a lot of season left right here with these 4 games right here, and we know as an offense there's still plenty of time to stay on an improving mindset right here and keep getting better at the things we're trying to get better at.
Thank you.
Good? All right, thank you.